All right, well, today's the last day of this 30-day challenge. I think I'm gonna go to the mall. I will catch up with you in about, I don't know, 6 kilometers. All right, so this is the end of the ENN trail at Nanaimo North Town Center. I think that's the Mostar Trail now, coming up across the street. I'm going to try out that bike pump at the repair station. So I let my front tire get a bit low. Well, couldn't use that pump. There's a piece of it missing. I brought my own pump. It's super overcast today. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that the footage yesterday was so overexposed. Because I've had really good results on sunny days. And yesterday when the sun came out, it was like, I put it on like ISO 800 when it should have used 100. But maybe it's because I locked the shutter speed. Anyways, it's a never-ending struggle with this camera. I gotta get some ND filters, and I should probably just use the Wi-Fi function so I can actually see it on my phone as I'm shooting. You know, have meters and stuff. It's supposed to be like more freedom, because I could just like set it and forget it, and it hasn't been that case at all. I've had blurry days. I've had days where it changes to 1080p. I've had wrong shutter speed, which is probably the blur. I've had smoothing turned off. It's been frustrating. Anyways, this is a super nice trail. This is like a flawless asphalt trail. There's like no cracks, barely bumps. And yeah, it's really nice. I heard there was a lot of controversy when this went in because they took this down from 4 lanes of traffic to 2 and a big bike lane on either side. I haven't really seen many people using it, but when I've used it, it's been nice. Last time I was up this way, I was not talking for that video. Fun fact, I was naked in 2 episodes. Seems like a weird thing to say. I used a variety of cameras for these videos. First one was shot just on iPhone 14. Mounted in a pretty bad spot on the bike where a cable was covering part of the view. I didn't like that shot, but I wanted to commit to this challenge and just, you know, get started. A lot of the videos immediately following that were mostly DJI Osmo Pocket 2. Mostly worked fine until we moved up to 2.7K and 4K. I also used GoPro Black 12 with the Media Mod case, which includes extra microphones, audio input, USB pass-through, and HDMI port. And in the studio, if I wasn't using either the GoPro or the DJI, but I have a Panasonic G85 Micro Four Thirds camera, and I've got a pretty expensive, I think it's an 18 to 50, 55 lens on it, something like that. It's and it's a pro lens with a 2.8 f2.8 aperture at all zoom levels. Pretty sweet. But like, I've never taken that outside, I don't think. Maybe once. I like shooting on that because I've got a monitor for it. But everything's wired up for live streaming and software tutorials. I do not take that out. I should take it out more often, but like it's such a pain to like reset for streaming that I just don't. I just really wanted to go for a long ride today, kind of finish off this challenge, you know, not half-ass it. So for microphones that I've used with the cameras, if I'm not using the onboard mics that I did that for the first probably few videos. Well, the iPhone one was all in the iPhone camera microphone. DJI, I would usually use the wireless mic that comes with it. So like DJI wireless mic 1, I guess it would be called, something like that. Some episodes with the GoPro were just the built-in, or most of the time I would use the lossless audio option, but sometimes I would not. I'd just use whatever the camera recorded, kind of turn it down, because it usually boosts it a lot. We have arrived at the mall. And there are a lot of people here today. You know what? I'm just gonna ride around and talk for a bit. I don't feel like parking it. In the studio, my main mic is a Shure SM7B. I use an Elgato Wavelink XLR as my interface. It's open, there's people in there. Now I'm on the iPhone, and usually my bike setup is like this. I've got a magic arm. I've got the wireless mic plugged in there. When I'm using the DJI, I'll have a phone mount. That's about it. John. All right, so I'm outside of the Starbucks, and it's busy in there. It's so loud, and I'm gonna try to, you know, be uncomfortable out here for a bit. Uncomfortable because I'm talking to a camera in public and not because it's a bad temperature or anything. I was on my bike for over blank hours. At this point, I'm not finished my ride yet. It's another 10K or so to get home. Currently at 377.95 kilometers. That is 31 hours on the bike. Yeah, 31 hours on the bike, and then multiply by 4 for the number of hours editing these videos. Yeah. Was it worth it? I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's worth it because I made $10,000. No, I made $0. I didn't spend a lot, at least. I didn't go out and buy new cameras just for this. Like, I'm using cameras that I already had and all the accessories that I already had. I upgraded GoPros in March, I think it was. I wasn't using it very much. 0 ads, no AdSense money, no sponsors, and no donations or anything like that. Like, this is just a video for the sake of making a video. So yeah, 30 days straight for the challenge, but also it was about 7 or 8 days before the challenge started that I was doing about 10K, and I think a few longer ones. Back to August, there was 182 kilometers traveled, 14 hours on the bike. And so like the 30th was a 16K day. 29th was a 11K day, almost 12. So yeah, it's no rest days for like 40 days. And so any sort of like physical strength, endurance benefits, I don't think I've seen yet because I haven't been able to rest. I know that like a 10K bike ride is not that big of a deal, but when you're going from like average of 70 a month, 2K here and there, and that's it, up to currently 377, 378. I can't do like 30K today. Day like 5 or something, I was thinking of like, oh yeah, maybe on the last day I'll loop around and visit every spot. I didn't think about like the weather changing. I wouldn't have had any rest days, had any injuries, things like that. I wish I didn't have so many technical difficulties that just distracted me from other, actually like making the content. That's the sort of thing that I just obsess over, and it's so frustrating. Like, record in 1080p, and then YouTube like compresses it so much, like lowers the bitrate that it feels like it wasn't worth even going out at that point. I wish someone said something on day 1 so I could have fixed it right at the start. That's sort of another thing I am kind of disappointed about, because like I don't feel like I've every video gotten better. I've made some videos I'm pretty happy with overall, but then the next I'll have some technical issue, or I'll make some mistake, or I won't have enough energy or whatever, and it's just not a good video. And also, I'm not getting enough comments and feedback on what I'm doing right or wrong, and I've asked for it. Did I do time lapses? Do you need sound for the time lapses? Is the music selection okay? Should I talk more? Should I talk less? Should I have a theme for the day? There's not enough people watching and commenting to feel like I've improved or that I can implement any ideas. It's just completely blind. Look at analytics. So this channel was basically dead. So total of 2.8 thousand views, which is 2.7 thousand more than usual. Watch time, 134 hours, which, not great. It's not enough to get monetization. 34 subscribers. In terms of top comment, the Pocket Dump biking EDC video. That's done over 1,000 views. And that was the only one that I had like a specific theme, and it was almost a tutorial rather than just like a vlog, I guess. Yeah, doing it today, I would do that video completely different. I don't want to be like a bike influencer, a camera influencer, or anything like that. And I see a lot of channels that start out daily vlogging end up just only reviewing the different cameras that they use. And like, I don't know, it's not really like a day on life. It's like a camera review, like every time. Or it's like some accessory or whatever. And it basically ends up selling something. And that's a huge distraction from what I wanted to do, which was the bike challenge. I don't know what the worst performing video was. I didn't do thumbnails for a long time, and I think that made a difference. It was probably the day 12 when I decided to do thumbnails. All the other ones before that were added after. Day 8 did only 32 views. Day 4 was only 28 views. Day 3 was 26. Like, I thought day 3 was actually a pretty good video. No reason for that to do poorly, I think. Yeah, it kind of seems like Nanaimo tourism type things did not do well. I was a little surprised about the slow ride around town video doing like 59 views. It seemed like it did better than the Abyss, and the Abyss video was like so much more difficult than like any other video I did. Just physically demanding. And that one was just like, okay, we're getting on the bike and we're just going on the bike, and that's it. And there was no story or anything. There's no challenge, and it did better, which is frustrating. Day 19 was, for me, it was one of the best days that I've had, where most of the footage worked out. I had a hook at the beginning. Like, I feel like I did everything right, and it just didn't work. Field recording at Piper's Lagoon 2 days ago. That one, was a little disappointed with the quality of the footage, especially the first half. But I feel like the thumbnail's pretty good. Premise of the video was okay. The sound quality of the field recording setups was decent after processing, and it was a very challenging edit, especially just giving myself only a few hours to complete it. I got home at 4, and so I didn't finish that until like 10:30 or something like that. And it was like, because that's a 24-minute video, that was an hour and a half to render. So why should you stay subscribed to a channel that's not going to publish daily videos, when daily videos is what you signed up for? Great question. You're just gonna have to stay subscribed, because I will be posting videos. It's just not gonna be every day. It's not gonna be about biking, most likely. There's a great YouTube channel called Monsma, the guy's name. Every October, he does like a daily build something challenge. He's been doing it for, I think, 3 years. He's just about to start. And I think I'm gonna participate in that. It's not gonna be daily videos, but we've got a lot of projects that need to be caught up on. In yesterday's video, I mentioned that one of my hobbies is restoring old tools. Just yesterday, I bought 2 new old tools that need a fair bit of work. Probably won't be a dedicated video for each object, but that would count towards the 31-day challenge, and maybe a weekly video to recap what I worked on. I've got a new piece of audio equipment coming, so I need to make room for it in my studio. That's a video. Or a project. It's a build. I want to put up a shelf above my acoustic panels, back wall of my studio. I need to put up some shelves in the bedroom. The whole bedroom still needs to be decorated. We've got a bunch of stuff, cabinet of curiosities type stuff, paintings, books, all sorts of things. I never think about the bedroom unless I'm going to sleep. I even have the wood for that. I just don't have the shelf brackets to do it. But that's another project. So if I can knock out 31 of those in a month, little projects like that, I think I'd be feeling pretty good. Of course, some of the videos or some of the projects will be main channel videos. That counts. So I got to get back to doing Reaper blog stuff. Based on all the things that I've learned from making this daily vlog, there's a lot of content I can add into my video editing course. If I'm shooting footage for this daily build project, some of those days will be maybe learning DaVinci Resolve, where that makes sense to do. Well, there you go. There's some reasons to stay subscribed. Maybe you want to go back to the back catalog of videos. Check out the podcast I did a couple years ago. But similar to the daily vlog, that was a project that didn't get a lot of views, didn't get a lot of comments and feedback, and we weren't able to improve. I'm pretty sure this video is going to be titled "What I Learned in 30 Days of Daily Vlogging," but I'm not sure that I learned a lot. As I mentioned before, just didn't get enough comments and feedback to really know what I'm doing right or wrong. I've learned that it'd be a lot easier with a second person. I've learned that biking is less fun talking to a camera. You know, in all honesty, It is possible to get to 400 today. I just don't want to make the video about that. This is the last time I'm doing this shot.